Hey everybody, welcome back to OneT's Garage. My name's Elliot. This is my 2003 Chevy Silverado behind me. It's got the 4.8 V8 engine. I'm going to show you how to replace the fuel filter on it today. Just a couple of tools you need, and it's a pretty easy process, so let's get started. Really the only tools you'll be needing today to replace this fuel filter is a 16 millimeter wrench and a 20 millimeter wrench, and a screwdriver might be handy. Also, you'll probably need some WD-40. It's a good idea to spray some of that on there before you start the job and let it sit for a minute, loosen it up. We'll have to relieve the fuel pressure. I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. This fuel filter right here I got from Advanced Auto Parts. It was about $19, and it's just a basic fuel filter. What happens is a lot of times these filters will get clogged up with debris and stuff from miles and miles of bad gas and just stuff settling in your gas tank. These filters will filter it out before it hits your injectors, so it won't clog up your injectors. If you have problems with loss of power, or it struggles a little bit like on interstate speeds or going up hills, it's a possibility that this thing is clogged up, not giving you enough flow. It'll be much more noticeable, probably the most noticeable, if you're at interstate speeds, or you're towing something, or you're going up a hill where you need large quantities of fuel. The fuel pressure will be okay, but the volume of fuel coming through here sometimes will be restricted. So the fuel filter is located on the driver's side of the frame rail. It'll be up under here. On the other side of this frame rail, you can see it right there. It's pretty rusty and old. Looks like it hasn't been changed in a long time on this one. So we're going to go ahead and change it up. One of the first things you should do is take off this fuel pump relay. You'll see it right here. It says FPMP. It stands for fuel pump. This corresponds to this one right here. So just wiggle it out, take it out. That is the fuel pump relay. We'll take that off, and then we'll try to crank the vehicle. That should relieve a lot of the fuel pressure so that we won't get sprayed in the face as much when we're taking that fuel filter off down below. So what you'll do once you take that fuel pump fuse out is just turn the key, try to start the truck, and it won't start because the fuel pump isn't working. So we've relieved the fuel pressure, and I'm getting a phone call. And now we can go ahead and start changing the fuel filter. So I'm up under here about to replace this fuel filter. It is one direction, so you can see this one will say out on one side. And that goes toward the engine bay. So you want it to be this side. This is out, and it should go toward the engine bay. You can get them backwards and it won't flow right, so make sure that's correct. So this is the fuel filter right here. It's got this plastic strap on it. This one is already broken, but the easiest way to do this, instead of trying to take this bracket off, is to just stick your screwdriver up under here between it. You might have to hammer it through or something, and then just break that plastic strap. It's not really needed, and it will still support it a little bit, but just break that strap, and then you'll be able to access the fuel filter more easily. So next you'll try to get your 20 millimeter wrench. You'll put it on the fuel filter side, and then The other one you can put on the line nut, so you can take it off there. So it's a good idea to wear safety glasses, because sometimes it'll still have pressure on it, and it might spray you in the face when you take these lines loose. Once you take them loose, it's a good idea to just let it drain for a little while, and, so that you don't get soaked in fuel. And basically just unscrew it here with the wrench. And yeah, that one I should have sprayed some WD-40 on, like I told you guys, but I couldn't find my WD-40, so here I am busting knuckles. So make sure you don't have any kind of flames or anything around. Don't be smoking while you do this. Okay. So if you don't relieve the fuel pressure like I told you, this will spray quite a bit when you first take it off. I mean, it's gonna leak gasoline anyway, but at least it won't have any pressure on it. Because it goes up to about 60 psi. So the fuel doesn't look too dirty coming out of there. But let me go ahead and change this. There are two little O-rings on the line. Just make sure those are still attached. They should still be good. It's very rarely that they'll come off when you take these off. But just stick this in here like this. So make sure you got the out facing toward the engine compartment. Make sure your O-rings are still on your lines, and then just stick this in there and reattach. It doesn't have to be super tight or anything, just make sure it's snug. And then it should stop leaking whenever you get it nice and snug. So now it's all done. There's the old filter. It's pretty rusty, looking pretty old. So now that it's done, what we do is we put this fuel pump relay back in its spot. Put the lid back on. So now that you get the fuel pump relay back in, we're gonna turn the key. Turn the key a couple times. Get the fuel system primed up. You gotta push a lot of fuel into that fuel filter to fill it up. So we'll cycle it, I don't know, a couple times. About 4 times we'll try that, and then just fire it up. Hopefully it fires up. Fires right up. It's Don't see any drips, so that's a good sign. Just make sure that nothing's dripping down here. If you do have a fuel leak, you should take it back off and check those O-rings, make sure they're okay. You can buy the O-rings at any auto parts store if you need them. But this one's not dripping. Seems like it's all fixed the proper way. No leaks. Got a new fuel filter. Hopefully I get a little more power now that it's changed. The old one did look pretty bad. So there you go, guys. That's all I got for my fuel filter video. Hope it was helpful for you guys. Give me a thumbs up if it was, and drop me a comment if you got any questions, suggestions for future videos. Let me know. I hope y'all have a great day.